Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the brand new Voyage de Chanel Travel Face Palette Blush and Illuminating Powders. I first saw this posted on Instagram several weeks ago now, and I believe it was one of you guys who tagged me in the post to let me know this was even coming, so thank you very much. As soon as I spotted it on Chanel.com last week, I went ahead and added to cart. No questions asked, and I used the code in the bag. Once again, it went through for free overnight shipping, so if this is something that interests you, try it out for yourself. I keep using it, it keeps working, so fingers crossed that will continue. So it arrived really quickly. It came, of course, in the classic Chanel makeup box with a little bag of samples. So I've had it a couple days now to play around with it, but I held on to the exterior packaging because it really is pretty and I wanted to show it to you guys. It's a larger box considering it's just a single powder, and then each panel on the side correlates to the shade of blush inside the palette, which is very unique. The Voyage de Chanel retails for $70. The compact includes blush and highlighter inspired by the colors of Tokyo, Paris, London, and New York. According to the website, this is both exclusive and limited edition. When you open up this beautiful box, you'll notice right away that you have two velvet protectors. One is, of course, the face palette, and then the second one is a separate brush, which is nice. It's a good touch because, you know, it's a higher price point. The powder's special and exclusive, so it does elevate the product, I think, to have a separate brush. Typically, you get the little half moon brush anytime you purchase a Laid Beige powder or any other face powder from Chanel for that matter. But I will say, because it is meant for traveling, I think there is something that's not very convenient about keeping it separate, because there is no way for you to store this little brush inside this compact without ruining the beautiful powder itself. Which for this, you definitely do not want to mess it up, because that's what makes it so special, is the gorgeous design on top. This illuminating blush has 4 quadrants, and directly in the center is the Chanel compass. In the top left-hand corner, you have Paris, a fresh, satiny pink shade inspired by the brisk air of Paris along the banks of the Seine River. On the top right is London, a deep coral shade of blush inspired by the colorful facades of the Portobello Market in Notting Hill. On the bottom right is New York, a satiny, shimmering bronze shade inspired by the metallic tones of the Brooklyn Bridge. And then last but not least, the bottom left is Tokyo, a subtle, illuminating rose shade inspired by blossoming cherry trees. I've discovered that my personal favorite way to use this illuminating blush is to take my brush and sweep it all the way around, visit each quadrant, pick up a little bit of each color, and then dust it on the apples of my cheeks. Now, the good thing is, you can customize, so if you prefer your blush to be a little bit more bronzy, you can spend a little bit more time in New York. If you prefer to have your blush very rosy and spring-like, you can come up here to Paris and swirl around there. You can really sort of customize using just this one product so that it creates multiple blush looks. You could even use this on your eyes. I immediately am drawn to this New York shade. I think that would be beautiful in the crease. Paris, London, you could use any of them. Tokyo would be beautiful on the lid. So there really are so many ways to use this. It's incredibly versatile as well as beautiful. Now I'll tell you, the first thing that I noticed as soon as I opened it up, well, the number one thing was that there was a little chunk missing from the Paris part of the compass, so that threw me off. But the second thing I thought of was that it looked a little bit smaller than the other blushes. I don't know why. I guess with a $70 price point, and I had probably built it up in my head a little bit, I was expecting the powder itself to be much larger. But when I compare it to another Chanel blush, this one is Jersey, this one is smaller. So this one contains 0.21 ounces of product, and it retails for $45. This one has 0.38 ounces, so not quite double, but you do get more blush with the exclusive Voyage de Chanel, which is sort of nice to know. I mean, of course, if you're purchasing this, it's because it's beautiful and exclusive, and perhaps you're a collector. You're not necessarily picking this up because it's the best value. although it is gorgeous. The second thing that I thought of was that it reminded me a lot of the Cocoa Code blush. This is something that came out a little over 3 years ago now. It was also limited, so it has that same kind of look to it, where there's a blush, there's some illuminating shades, a little bit of a bronzy shade. They're incredibly different, but both very beautiful. I picked up the Cocoa Code blush years ago when it first launched, and it was so new and exciting, and I thought it was so beautiful. This collection was inspired by the color codes of Chanel, so I thought it was so wonderful, and I completely destroyed mine. This was recently gifted to me by a friend who works for Chanel, and I'm probably not going to touch it. It's so beautiful and it's so special, and it just carries a lot of sentimental meaning to me. So I know that might sound silly, but there are a couple blushes and powders that I have from Chanel that I really don't touch, and it seems crazy, but this was a gift, so I don't feel so bad about it. I will keep this as beautiful as it is now, and I'll keep it on my vanity and just look at it from time to time and just enjoy how special it is. But because of that, I've made it a point to myself that I am going to use this one, which I did spend my own money on, so I want to get use out of it. Even if it wasn't limited or exclusive, I would be drawn to this as a blush. I think they did a beautiful job choosing tones that are so seasonably appropriate. I think this is gorgeous for spring going into summer, but it's so versatile as well. This is currently my favorite blush that I own in my entire collection. It is just so gorgeous, and I just love the color. I love that you can customize and create something unique with it every single time you use it. I do consider this a blush and not really a highlighter or a bronzer. While you could in a pinch use these, if you're traveling to suit a lot of different purposes, I feel like if you're traveling and you have a palette like this, you probably have a bag of cosmetics. You're probably not a very minimal person. I know for me, I sort of laugh whenever I see the Chanel tutorials on the Chanel YouTube and then the Instagram page where they have this gorgeous model and they have a product like this and they sort of like apply just like a little pinch of blush and a little touch of eyeshadow, and she looks stunning because she is a drop-dead gorgeous supermodel. But the majority of people that I know who love Chanel and are purchasing these products are the most maximalist people on earth, and when they are traveling to London or Paris or Tokyo, they have suitcases and bags filled with products, and they're just product junkies. So chances are, if you're like me, you will never leave the house on a big vacation without taking a separate bronzer, a separate highlighter. You could, of course, use this for all of them, but why would you? I mean, there's so many great products. Don't you want to take them all with you? So this, to me, I consider to be more of a blush, but it's a beautiful blush. I mean, I have products that are very special and they look gorgeous and they had some sort of design on them, so I don't touch them. This is not the case with this. I'm going to use this so often. I imagine it's not going to last very long, which is fine because then that way I get to enjoy it and actually wear it. I think if you are somebody who owns a lot of blushes and you're not really in the market for blush, this could be something that you skipped. There are so many incredible Chanel products that are coming out really soon that you might want to save your money and just sort of wait if blush is not something that you need and you're not necessarily into the collecting aspect of picking it up simply because it's exclusive. I just can't say enough great things about the Voyage de Chanel. It truly is a beautiful, beautiful blush. And that completes today's video, so thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave me any of your comments or your questions down below. I will be linking this as well as everything that I used today on my face down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe.